Today we're going to be making a casserole, and we're going to work on changing your casserole taste buds. So casseroles are typically pretty unhealthy. They've got a lot of cream, they've got a lot of salt, they got a lot of fat, and they got a lot of pasta or white rice all mixed together. It can be a recipe for a lot of calories and a lot of fat. So we're going to work on changing your buds and making a casserole that's much healthier. So more fresh vegetables, some whole grains, less cheese, less fat, some healthy meats, and it will still taste fantastic. Okay, we're gonna start with a couple big leeks here. If you don't have leeks, you could just use a small onion that's diced. And we're going to go ahead and chop those leeks. If you don't know how to chop leeks or never chopped them before, you can follow this link right here, and in one of my soup videos I'll show you how to chop leeks. Now we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in here, let that warm up just for a second. Just a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Then we're going to put our leeks in, pinch of salt. That'll cook for about 5 minutes until they're soft. Now we've got our yellow squash. We're going to dice that, 2 yellow squashes. You could use zucchini as well. Now we got our kale. You can use any kind of green here, and a hearty green is best. A couple ways to make this without so many steps. If you want to use frozen kale, you could just use that. The other way to make it easier would be to use, when we use farro later, you could just use some frozen brown rice or frozen quinoa instead. That way you don't have to pre-cook the grains. All right, next we're going to do the garlic. A couple cloves of garlic we're going to chop. All right, and kale. So this is a neat little trick I learned from the last cookbook I read, is that when you want to add some garlic but you don't want it to burn, you get the other vegetables cooking in here, then you make a little well in the center, add your garlic right in the middle there, and then let it cook for just about 30 seconds. That way you don't have to worry about your garlic burning, but you still let it cook long enough to let those flavors out. All right, we're going to add a cup of chicken stock. This is no sodium chicken stock, and then we're just going to let that reduce down till it's almost gone. While our broth is simmering down there, we're going to shred some chicken here. This is rotisserie chicken breast that I bought from the store. One thing to be careful of is this rotisserie chicken breast is not low sodium. So if you're looking for a low sodium chicken breast, then you have to kind of make them yourself. So if you want to make your chicken breasts at home, you could either roast or bake a bunch of chicken breasts at the beginning of the week. If you want to do it with the bone in, that will give you a little more flavor and just a little bit more moisture than the boneless chicken breast. But if you want to boil them before you shred it, you could also do that. Just boil them for about 20 minutes until the chicken breasts are no longer pink on the inside. All right, so we've got our chicken breast shredded, and now we're going to just chop our parsley. I'm going to use about a 1/4 cup of diced parsley in here as well. If you wanted to use dried Italian parsley, that would be fine. All right, now we're just going to mix every ingredient together, and then we're going to put it in our casserole dish and bake it at 400. So this is farro. Farro is a whole grain. It's kind of a pasta. It's kind of a mixture between, I don't know, pasta and brown rice and oatmeal, something like that. Anyways, it's really delicious, and you just kind of boil it like you would boil a pasta. And if you want to speed up your recipe, you could just use a bag of frozen quinoa or brown rice instead of the farro. And now we've got about a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese going right in there. We've got 2/3 a cup of breadcrumbs. We're going to put half of them in our mixture here. Okay, we've got 1 beaten egg. We've got our chicken, our parsley, and our vegetable mixture. And you could use frozen vegetables if you wanted, if you didn't want to spend your time making all of this like I did. So we got this nice moist mixture here that's going to go into the oven. Now we're going to pop our mixture into a casserole dish that has been pre-sprayed with some non-stick cooking spray. And we're going to cover it with the rest of our breadcrumbs. You can make these breadcrumbs yourself if you want. It's very easy. Or you can do what I'm doing, which is using Panko plain breadcrumbs, which are very low sodium, not a lot of ingredients in them. Okay, great. Sprinkle of salt. And we're just gonna pop that in the oven at 400 for 25 to 35 minutes until it gets brown on top. Let's try this casserole. So whole grains, lots of veggies, a little bit of cheese, crusty on the outside, nice and moist on the inside, lots of fiber. Now remember, this is a very low sodium version, so if you're not worried about watching your salt, you can sprinkle a little salt on top. That'll really make the flavors pop a little bit. Okay. This is a perfect way to change your buds from the unhealthy casserole to something with whole grains, vegetables, a little bit of cheese, and it still tastes fantastic. So give it a try. This is a good way to start changing your buds to a healthier palate. Thanks for watching today. You can check out our website, thecooking.co, Facebook, YouTube. We got breakfast, lunch, dinners, snacks, desserts, all kinds of good things to help you change your buds to getting a better and healthier palate. Thank you for watching The Cooking Doc. Healthy cooking made simple and delicious.